Hi everyone, and thanks so much for tuning in for the new moon in Gemini psychic astrology reading. This is an intuitive astrology reading. It's based in astrology, but I do color outside the lines quite a bit, and I do get a lot of downloads while doing the reading. Before we go into it too deep, I want to just let you know that my name is Vickieverlie, and you can find me at vickieverlie.com. Please do not be fooled by imposters. If you enjoy my content, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up or subscribe. This costs you nothing, but it lets YouTube know that you do enjoy my content, and it helps me out quite a bit. Okay, so we've got the new moon here at 9 degrees of Gemini, 3 minutes. And if you look at the aspectarian here, we've got the sun and the moon. They're only conjunct each other, but actually it is making a few aspects here. It is definitely squaring up with the Juno in Pisces, but it's also, I would say, with the Mars, it's making a sextile to the Mars in the Chiron as well. So there are some aspects that are being made, but overall Gemini, it's a little bit rare too, because I'm not sure if this is a blue moon. I think maybe only full moons are blue, but it is the second new moon that is occurring in the month of May, because we had one on May 1st, and now we've got another one. I think it was May 1st, the eclipse, whatever that was. The first eclipse, and now we've got a second one in May, so that's 2 times. In the sign of Gemini, communication. What's interesting, though, is the sign of Gemini, of course, is ruled by Mercury here. And we look to the planet of Mercury, which rules the new moon itself, and it's still retrograding. It's just about to stop here. If you look at the speed, that's what this is over here. See if you see that Mercury is at 0 degrees 16. So it's just about to stop, and then it's going to turn and go the other way just within a few days. But it is still retrograding at the time of this new moon. So that could mean, like, it could be some delays. There could be some things that come up from the past. Another interesting thing about the placement of Mercury here is that it is conjunct the North Node at the time of the new moon here. So when we get these planets conjunct the North Node, this is the universe's way of trying to get us to align with our North Node energy, our true North, our true soul's calling. And with the planet of Mercury and the new moon being in Mercury, this could come in the form of messages, of seeing things, reading things, synchronicities in the 3rd house, like everyday life. Little synchronicities. Be aware of these little synchronicities and these little messages. Another thing about the retrograde energy is that sometimes it could be a little jumbled or a little mixed up. It might not be so obvious. It might not be so, there's just a little bit of you may have to do a little bit of ciphering to kind of figure it all out. But it's worth figuring out. Be on the lookout for these messages. Could come in the form of dreams because of the square to the Gemini, Pisces energy, the Vesta Pisces energy. Could come in the form of dreams. Also could be love from the past. Also could be a creative hobby or something that gives you pleasure from the past that's coming back into play. Let's stay with the topic of Mercury, because Mercury is trining Pluto. So whenever Pluto is involved, it can be a life-changing event. It could be something that you get the news or you get the message in whatever form it might come, through dreams, through social media, through little synchronicities. So the message is a note from Pluto saying, hey, if you want to really change your life and go in a completely different direction, well, I have that opportunity. That's being offered up to you. Let's see here. They have it also squaring up with Venus. Yeah, I guess it is squaring up with the Venus, is it? Well, it's trining the Mercury for sure. Yeah, I guess it's a squaring the Venus, yeah, because it's right here. So, you know, here's another thing, though, with the Venus. So it could be money with Venus, but also could be some love thing. And I was getting that vibe, too, from the Juno in the 12th here, Juno in the Pisces. Yeah, it could be in Mercury retrograde, somebody from the past. Some of you might be these old lovers or these old infatuations. Might be popping up from the past. They want me to say infatuation, and I was getting the Rod Stewart song, Infatuation. It's like a disco song. I was a little off key on that as usual, but yeah. And then we have Palace there. You could have some revelations also about things from the past. You could have some revelations, and even the word regret does want to come through, so it could be even some regrets over past loves or past mistakes or whatever the case may be. The Mercury is also in a conjunct or semi-sextile, I always forget this, but it's making an aspect to the Saturn here. So we've got, especially too, if you have, even though the moon here, the new moon, is at 9 degrees of Gemini, but if you we've still got a lot of action in these 20-something degree placements with the 26, the 25, the 28, the nodes at 22, vertex at 25, Scorpio. Point of fate. Somebody from your past who's faded, you know, it could be showing up or coming back again. Sexual partner with being Scorpio might be somebody, you know, just a lover, maybe not definitely it might not be, you know, that kind of relationship, but it could have been somebody that there was a strong chemistry of, you know, sexual energy. You know, the Scorpio energy also can bring about this anger, and we can't overlook that at the time of this new moon, we do have the Jupiter-Mars conjunction in a sign of Aries. So, you know, on the good side, on the bright side, yeah, this could be like you have so much energy and so much initiative, and you're just charged up and ready to go. What is that song that's coming through? It's Armed and Ready. It's either by UFO or Michael Shankner, MSG. Michael Schenker Group, Armed and Ready, Ready to Rock, I think is the lyrics. I'm not sure. But that song is coming through, Armed and Ready. Well, hopefully it's not more military stuff, because, I mean, it could be. It could be with the Mars energy. That does rule over, you know, military, fighting, warrior, that kind of stuff. So hopefully that wouldn't be the case, but it could be. It can also, Mars-Jupiter can bring in this... because Jupiter expands, makes more, they're talking something about gravitational pull. I mean, maybe it could be they're talking about gravitational pull in the way of planetary space stuff, but it also could be gravitational pull in the way of, you know, magnetism, you know, where you just can't, it could be that one. This could be that one that, you know they're bad for you, but something you just can't resist them. When you've got Mars and you've got Scorpio, sometimes it's those ones that's just like, you know, I know I'm never going to marry him. I know this relationship is going anywhere, but God help me, I just can't. You know, I just can't resist that vibe. So for some people, it could be like that. But it also could be, you know, this acceleration. It's an acceleration of Mars energy. And just like with all the signs and all the planets, there's always a positive and a negative way to express any of this. So, of course, the positive way, like I said, is initiative. We're go-getter. Let's get things done. Let's get up and at 'em, action-oriented, forging new trails, blazing these new beginnings, you know, fired up. I'm hearing all dressed up and nowhere to go. Well, that's when it turns bad, when you got all this fiery energy, you know, it's combustible and you have nowhere to direct it toward. Then that's when it could be like big outbursts, big arguments. I mean, it could be I heard that Armed and Ready. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. So, as some people, the people that we are, who are probably on the ascension path, or at least interested in spiritual growth and stuff, we can look at this and say, you can look at it and say, oh no, I'm going to run and hide because something bad might happen. Or you can say, well, listen, we've got this Jupiter-Mars energy in Aries going on. How can I use that energy? How can I harness that energy to really get something done? If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, if you haven't put your garden in, get out there and start digging in that dirt, baby. Or, you know, the sexual thing too. You could be having sex the whole time, burn it up that way, whatever the case may be. It's different for everyone, but, you know, you could get a lot accomplished. And why waste that energy going down into anger, resentment? If you find yourself going that way, the great thing about this kind of work is that it's like, okay, it's the Mars, like with me this weekend, it was like, okay, it's the Scorpio full moon, okay, you know, and then you can kind of catch yourself and just kind of redirect that hopefully into something a more positive way, a more positive outlet. The Mercury is also still squaring with the Neptune. You know, you could get realizations and downloads, and the thing I'm getting is some of the realizations you may not like. You know, this could be the whole thing that sparks all this anger, rage. Rage is what it really is. This could be rage. You know, so you could get some realization. It's just like I'm getting like this, I was screwed over energy, like, or I was lied to. Now I'm here. I've been lied to. Don't know why. Let that mean man make me a fool. Took all my money. Wrecked my new car. Now he's with one of my good time buddies, drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel wow, wow, wow. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. There it is, tied to the whipping post. Sorry if singing bugs you. It's just not. It's just the thing that happens with the guides that come through with songs. Yeah, but I couldn't find the song. It's tied to the whipping post. Yeah. You might feel like you're tied to the whipping post, and you might have this anger welling up inside of you, and it might need an outlet, you know. That could be a thing. And Gemini too, the new moon in Gemini, you know, your mind could be going, oh yeah, well this and this and this, and da 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 da, and da 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 da. You get on the hamster wheel, and your mind kind of takes over. Bring it back to center. Bring it back to practicality of the Taurian energy. Let's go to that north node in Taurus, where Mercury, the ruler of the new moon, is in Taurus. And Tauruses aren't going to make any rash decisions or go flying off the handle or do anything crazy. You know, but Taurus is very grounded in the earth, and let's just review the facts, and let's go cook some food and make a fire, and go camping. You know, that's the Taurian energy. They're not running out the door to do anything. You know, they're just more let's play some music and let's chill out, you know, kind of a thing. The Venus is also sextiling the Lilith here too, and this Lilith in Cancer, you know, it feels like a fight to me, you know, because it doesn't have to be, but you know, Lilith didn't like the idea. When you think of Cancer in just archetype, you know, just again, it can be interpreted a lot of different ways. There's negative, positive, you know, but it's just the typical archetype of the mother energy, of the feminine, of this mom who stays home. And you know, Lilith wasn't happy being in that role. Lilith didn't want to be in that role. She wanted to be an equal with Adam. You know, she wasn't happy being the wifey over here. You know, that was not the role that she wanted to play. She was very empowered, and empowerment is really good. We all should do that, and that's a lot of the energy, I think, of the Jupiter in Aries is going to be this empowerment energy. But you know, it doesn't have to be well, I'm empowered, so therefore I'm going to, you know, whatever, you know, nobody else matters but me, you know, because that's another thing with the I have to spray myself. It's hot and I'm getting hot flashes. So I turned the fan off because I didn't want the noise, but I gotta spritz myself with a little water. I'm getting overheated here. Getting overheated, you know, that's definitely a thing with the Mars fire energy, but not only at the. I'm empowered, so therefore, you know, it's all about me and everybody else, whatever. There's different ways to go about it, and you know, that's one thing maybe that Lilith in Cancer could learn. You know, Lilith could learn from being in Cancer. You know, because the other thing, the Cancer, I always think of the Cancer energy like the Empress in the tarot. I had my little deck here, maybe I could find, oh, look, it was on the bottom there, Wheel of Fortune. You know, that Empress energy, she is the mother. She is definitely the mother. She's the mother of the tarot deck, of the major arcana. But also, you know, she is just very settled. You know, Gemini, yeah, you get some news. Do you have to run out and act on it right away? No, you don't. Especially with Mercury retrograde, you know. The Empress is very settled and grounded in her. Is the Empress empowered? Hell yes, the Empress is so empowered. But she's empowered in a different kind of a way. She's not empowered because she's exerting brute force. She's sitting there perched on her throne, And, you know, she knows she's empowered. She knows who she is. You know, it's kind of like almost like a Leo energy, although it's not ruled by Leo, but it's kind of like that Leo energy, you know. She knows where her power lies, you know. It being rooted in the divine feminine, being grounded in that worthiness and that, you know, that sure-footedness, and that just being in that that space of, yes, I am the Empress. I am the Empress. Now, I am the Walrus is coming through, but they're saying I am the Empress. But yeah, that's who she is. And it's not only that, you know, she's got the Lilith here, but also Ceres, another very much powerful goddess. Ceres also reminds me of the Empress energy. And then the part of fortune as well, you know. And they're all right in, you know, in the semi-sextile or whatever this is. That's 7 degrees, 9 degrees, you know, they're pretty close in there. So just because we get news, it's probably not the best time to act on it anyway with Mercury retrograde, but we don't have to just run out the door and fly off the handle about news or whatever that comes through. We can be, sit in our power for a minute here. Let's sit in our power. Let's get into this Taurus Cancerian energy. Let's get grounded into the earth. Let's, the words that want to come through is let's let nature take its course, because I feel like that's what they're showing me here. Like things will unravel with, you know, let them go off and have their unraveling, you know. A lot of this stuff that may turn up around this time, it's not, you know, you don't have to get upset about it. You just have to stay in your vibe and let the universe kind of handle it, you know. Stay in that Empress vibe and let the universe come through, and the universe deal with it in the way that the universe is going to deal with it. Let it run its course. Let the little gossip chain roll right on, and let it all step back away from that, because that only brings you down. That only brings you down and lowers your vibration, and it's just really not helpful. It's not helpful to the world at large, and it's not helpful to you and your own peace and your own sovereign energy here. Let's see what else we got going on. Venus is squaring Pluto. We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah. And then Jupiter, we got Saturn square the nodes. That's been an ongoing thing too. And then Uranus is conjunct the node. That's pretty loose. That's going to be coming in here. There's going to be opportunities opening up. Saturn's more of trying to push it, you know. Saturn is the one pushing. There's that old saying of, you know, your pain pushes you until your vision pulls you, or something along those lines. Well, this is the push and this is the pull, because Saturn is the old way, pushing you out of the old way and trying to make things difficult for you to stay in this old paradigm, whatever. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be way into ascension and stuff like this to benefit from what I'm trying to say here. Because, you know, the old paradigm could be you putting up with shit from some asshole at work all the time, or, you know, you have, you know, whatever you're, you know, whatever Saturn's making difficult for you is only to push you on to the next level. It's not to make, just because Saturn's a prick and wants to be, you know, nasty, mean to you. Saturn's not a prick. Saturn is a wise elder and knows better than we do from our earthly perspective. And then the Uranus is always, you know, that's the future. Pulling you into the future, pulling you into the next thing, pulling you into the next level. Releasing you from anything that's, you know, heavy burdenous energy. And, you know, we've got a lot of stuff in Taurus, and we've had these eclipses, and we've been in Taurus. And that can be heavy burdensome. It can be. It's like the oxen with the yoke, or the, you know, the bulls wear those yoke around their neck trying to plow the field or whatever. You know, that's hard. It's not. You have to take that yoke off every now and then, and, you know, look up and see what's going on in the world. You know, see what opportunities are out there. For some of you, I feel like for some specific people out there, this is gonna. It might seem like it's like, oh God, you know what's hitting the fan here? It's, you know, it's all coming down, baby. It's coming loose. The cat's out of the bag, and like a lot of chaos could be going on here. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is actually going to be better in the long run. You know, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, that's what they're saying. When the dust settles and the smoke clears, because Uranus is coming into this North Node conjunction. It's in orb, but it's not really right there yet. But Uranus is also the higher octave of Mercury, you know. So it's this mind energy, you know, and because this is all coming into play, you're being pulled to this higher thing that you can't see from this perspective, where the heavy, burdensome things are bogging you down so much that you can't see the forest for the trees. You've got this yoke of the oxen yoke or the bull, this heavy thing on your shoulders, and you're just plodding along, plodding along. All of us are. We're plodding along, just trying to get through. When really, you know, we've all come here with a higher calling. Every single person watching this and every single person incarnated in this world has come here with a higher intention. But when we get down here, it's not always, you know, it's not always as easy as we thought it was going to be. We get pulled into the old paradigm stuff. But this, you know, new moon, there's news coming. There's news coming that I feel like for many cases it's going to get your dander up, or it could get an argument started, or it's going to set off worry, you know. Oh, we have to worry about, like, there's this worry. There's this shaky kind of, the energy's very shaky, you know. And more, you know, the way to go is to pull in, find the power in the Empress type of vibe. Find the power in the, you know, being in that I'm nurtured, I'm okay, I'm well, all is well, I am nurtured, I am fine. I'm going to write that, all is well. I'm doing some, oh, I can't find a damn piece of paper. Yeah, I've been doing, and I'm going to be doing some, these mantra kirta kind of things, but it's mantra rock, it's kirta rock, and I am well, you know, that's another good one. I am well, or that's probably not even what I say. All is well, all is well. I need to, when I come up with these, write them down real quick or I forget. Sorry. Excuse me for that. Yeah, so a lot of busy mind stuff. Mercury retrograde could be confusions, could be misunderstandings. Could be a lot of, you know, with the Neptune, when you bring in the Pisces Neptune energy too, that also could very much lend itself to misunderstandings, illusional things that aren't quite right, you know. So be aware of that. Don't make any harsh, rash decisions at this time. Take your time with it. Get in the Taurus Cancer energy. Get in that Empress energy. Take your time with it. Sit with it. I feel like for a lot of it, you just sit with it and watch it all roll on by like a tumbleweed. You know, you want to get all tangled up in that tumbleweed, or you want to just sit on the porch and watch it roll on by and just, you know, just sit back and watch, you know, get some popcorn. And watch the drama unfold, but you don't have to be a part of it. You know, I think by stepping back and stepping out of it, and stepping into a higher vibe. Oh, do I have that? This was so cool. I was going to post it on social media, but let me just show you yesterday. I bought some watermelon. This is probably some kind of a recycling code, but I was coming back from spending the time at the lake, which is one of my favorite places where I do all my channeling, and I came back, I took a picture of it. And look what was on the back of my styrofoam thing that contained the watermelon. It said 4D, and I just thought that was so cool. It's like, yeah, I came back from at the lake. I'm definitely stepping into 4D or higher or whatever. But I just thought that was so cool. It probably is, again, some recycling classification, but so you don't have to put that in the comments. I realize that that's probably what it is, but it was still a message for me, you know. So you pay attention to these little messages. Those are those little synchronicities that come into play, you know, in these Gemini, these little messages like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, I got an email or I got a text. It could be just these little, you know, I was about to toss that into the recycle thing, and it's like, oh, look at this. It says 4D, you know. Those little, now you wouldn't see that unless you slow down a little bit. And I was definitely in a, you know, much slower, relaxed state after being in the channeling session and stuff. Alright, so yeah, this is the reading. I wanted to announce too, I just took the eclipse readings down because it's kind of dwindled off. Many people ordered it, thanks to everybody who ordered it, but you know, we're past the eclipses. And so now what I'm going to, what I have put up, if you didn't get the eclipse reading and you're looking for a transit reading, I do have the solstice reading, which is, I think, June 20th. But that is all, those are, I offer those always on those seasons, and that is also another very powerful time, because when it's when the sun goes 0 Aries, and this year it's going to be, Jupiter's going to be involved, so it'll be real interesting to look at. But it's always when we get to these cardinal ingresses is when the seasons change, and it changes, the season changes in our life, and the tides turn. And so what I do at that reading, I've been offering these for years, is it's just, you know, your wheel and then a bi-wheel with the ingress chart, and then we look at, you know, it's basically a transit chart, transit reading, but it's with special emphasis on where this Jupiter, where these new beginnings would come in, and, you know, how it's aspecting different planets in your chart. So that's another, always a popular reading that I do offer for a limited time. It'll be available to the end of June. I'm just opening up for it now, so if you're interested in that, you can find that on my website, along with a bunch of other stuff. I'm also still having the Psychic Soulmate reading, which is a soul reading dealing with past lives, which I have that for an individual, but now I've done another way where I can do it with 2 people, and it's a lot of really cool information has been coming through. And last but not least, if you haven't already, please do check out my album. It's available on all music platforms, called Low Key. It's instrumental. If you're looking to calm down and raise your vibration, this might be just what you're looking for. So check it out, give it a listen. Also, doesn't cost any money. You can you know, add it to your playlist and things like that on the various music platforms. Give it a little heart, and that helps me also. So I do appreciate that. All right, new moon after in Gemini. You know, I wish I could say, oh, it's going to be so calm after the eclipses, but it really doesn't. It really feels like kind of a lot of staticky kind of energy, especially because the Mercury's, you know, in retrograde, with it being ruler of the new moon chart. So it might be a little bit more we have to weather to get through. Keep calm, and, you know, if you can stay calm while those about you are losing their heads, or whatever that saying goes, that would be like a very apropos little quote for this one, I'll tell you. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, hitting that subscribe button. Really does help me. And it also spreads the word about that. If you like the more channeling stuff, I do have 2 channeled books out already. You can check those out. Very affordable. And a matter of fact, they're available for free in the Kindle Lending Library if you're a member of that. And you can also get a free trial on Audible if you want to listen to the audio versions of any of those books. So thanks, everybody. Have a great new moon in Gemini, and we'll talk again soon.